Hello students, I am Miss Kirtana from PG Department of Commerce, Sacred Heart College for Women, Chalakudi. This video is an attempt to share basic idea about fundamental analysis which comes under the head of security analysis. This session is prepared for the first part of module 3 in the subject investment management, the elective paper of MCOM third semester students, and it is also helpful for the BCom 5th semester students. This is an important part of module 3 of fundamentals of investment, the specialization paper of 5th semester BCom finance. Security analysis enables the investors to decide what type of investments should be selected from various alternatives such as bonds, debentures, shares, etc. Security analysis helps the investors to know the real worth of their holdings or their investments. The security analysis is made through primarily two approaches: fundamental analysis and technical analysis. Fundamental analysis is a method used to determine the value of stocks by analyzing the financial data that is fundamental to the company. On the other hand, the technical analysis is the study of market action for the purpose of forecasting future price trends. Technical analysis is focused on price movements, whereas fundamental analyst believes that there is little or no value in analyzing past prices. First of all, let's have a look on fundamental analysis. The idea behind the theory of fundamental analysis is first formed in 1934 in a publication, namely Security Analysis, written by Benjamin Graham and David Dodd. That describes fundamental analysis as an instrument for predicting future prices of equities and bonds. Fundamental analysis is a technique of determining a security's value by analyzing basic factors that affects the company's actual business and future prospects. Fundamental analysis studies economic factors, industry conditions, company's financial conditions, as well as qualitative factors such as performance of management. One of the primary assumptions of fundamental analysis is that the price of the stock in the market does not fully reflect the stock's real value. The real value is known as the intrinsic value. It is the fair value of the stock. The investment decision is made by comparing intrinsic value with the current market price of the share. If the intrinsic value of a stock is more than the current market price, the investor can purchase the stock. Otherwise, it is better to not buy that stock. And for an existing investor, that means if the investor is a holder of a stock, he can take selling decision when the intrinsic value is less than current market price. The main objective of the fundamental analysis is to identify the attractive investments in stocks or equities. To forecast future stock prices, fundamental analysis combines economic, industry, and company analysis to derive a stock's fair value. There is two alternative approaches for fundamental analysis, that are top-down forecasting approach and bottom-up forecasting approach. In top-down approach, the investors first analyzes the overall economy, then moves to analysis of industries, and finally analyze companies. The industry analysis is based on economic analysis and the company analysis is based on industry analysis. Second one is bottom-up approach. It starts with analysis of company and then analyze industries and finally the economy. In practice, top-down approach is more popular because logically, to forecast the company's performance, first of all, economic environment should be analyzed. Otherwise, the findings may not match with the economic conditions. Sometimes investors use combinations of these two approaches, but it is clear that in both of these approaches, the sequence of analysis or the content of analysis is based on economic, industry, company analysis. What is EIC analysis? EIC analysis means economic, industry, and company analysis. E for economic analysis, I for industry analysis, and C for company analysis. Economic analysis describes the macroeconomic situation in a particular country and its potential influence on the profitability of stocks. Industry analysis evaluates the situation in the particular industry or economic sector and its influence on the stocks. And finally, company analysis, it is involved financial analysis of the individual companies from the shareholder approach. Fundamental analysis can be broken down into three steps as analyzing overall economy, then analyzing industry in which the company operates, and finally analyzing the company. In this process, it is important that all informations are related. Industry groups are compared against other industry groups and companies are compared against other companies. The first step in fundamental analysis is analyzing the overall economy. Various macroeconomic factors are studied under this step. They are: first one, agricultural growth. Agriculture is directly or indirectly linked with the industries. Increase or decrease in agricultural production has a significant impact on the industrial production and performance of companies. Second one, industrial growth. It contributes to national income and helps to the overall development of different industrial sectors. And all this reflects the return and price of securities. Then, types of economy. In India, we have mixed economy where both public and private sector receives equal importance. And industrial and fiscal policy of the government also plays a very important role for the performance of Indian economy. Next one, business cycle. The different stages of a business cycle are depression, recovery, boom and recession. These different stages of a business cycle will have a direct connection on the performance of industries and companies. Another important variable to know the rate of growth of the economy is GDP, that is gross domestic product. The increase of GDP has a favorable impact on the stock market and decrease in GDP weakens the financial market. Next one, savings and investments. Growth of an economy requires proper amount of investments which in turn dependent upon amount of domestic savings. The saving mentality of the people have great influence on the development of stock market. Next one, interest rates. Interest rates determine the cost and availability of credit to the companies operating in the economy. The fundamental analysts have to examine the trends in money supply and interest rates before taking the decision about investment. Next one, price level and inflation. The inflation means changes in price level. Inflation is the increase in the general price level of an economy. Most economies faces positive rates of inflation year after year. A mild level of inflation is good for the stock market, but a high level of inflation is harmful to industries. Next one, unemployment. If unemployment increases, consumer spendings will decline. Also, investments will decline. Government budget and deficit financing. The government prepares central budget every year. It gives complete information on revenue, expenditure and deficit of the government for a given period. A balanced budget is highly favorable to the stock market. Next one is tax structure. Tax concession and incentives given to certain industry encourages investment in that industry and have favorable impact on stock market. So the business community eagerly awaits the government announcement regarding tax policy. Next one, balance of payment, forex reserves and exchange rates. Balance of payment is the record of all the receipts and payments of a country with the rest of the world. A surplus BOP have favorable impact on foreign exchange rates. The changes in foreign exchange rates affects the investment of foreign institutional investors in Indian stock market. A favorable balance of payment renders favorable impact on stock market. Next one, political stability. The existence of stable political climate is again considered to be one of the major factors responsible for better performance of the economy. A stable political climate is certainly helpful in making long-term economic plans and frame stable fiscal policies. Next one, infrastructure facilities. Infrastructure facilities are essential for the growth of industrial and agricultural sector. This includes availability of facilities like power, transportation and communication system, etc. Next one, demographic factors. Demographic factors is about population like age, occupation, literacy, etc. It is studied for forecasting the demand for consumer goods. Second stage of fundamental analysis is industry analysis. An industry means a homogeneous group of companies. Industry is a group of firms produces similar products which serves the same needs of a common set of buyers. To assess an industry group's potential, an investor would consider the overall growth, market size and importance to the economy. The important factors to be considered while analyzing industries are: first one, product or service. Most of the industries are identified by the product or services they provide. While conducting fundamental analysis, there is a need to concentrate on product or services offered by industry. Second one, estimating growth. It is necessary to study an industry's volume of sales and revenues over the last several years. It helps to assess competitive capability of a company. And next one, industry life cycle. All industries exhibit a life cycle characterized by introduction stage, growth stage, maturity stage and decline stage. Each stage in the industry life cycle affects the relationship between a firm's pricing strategies and its unit cost structure and sales volume, etc. This analysis is very useful to investors because the profitability of an industry depends upon the different stages of growth. Next one, raw materials and other inputs. Easy availability of raw materials is highly necessary for an uninterrupted flow of production of industries. Next one, production cost and profit. The lowest cost producer in an industry is best to face competition, either by pricing its product to maximize profits or setting prices at low levels to keep potential competitors from entering the business. Next one, competitive forces. Many competitive forces determine the attractiveness of industry and that can drastically change the future growth and valuation of companies within the industry. These forces may be in the form of free entry for new competitors or degree of competition between existing firms, etc. Next one, cyclical industries. Industries can be classified into either cyclical or defensive. Most cyclical industries are sensitive to global economic conditions. On the other hand, defensive industries have relatively stable return on equity. Next one, capacity utilization. Another important question raised for fundamental analysis is with regard to the capacity utilization. If the products offered by an industry are good, there will be great demand for such products and consequently industry would be able to achieve higher growth and prosperity. In such case, an industry can function at its full capacity. Next one, nature of demand. The nature of demand for the product is another important factor to be considered while conducting industry analysis. The prosperity of an industry cannot be estimated accurately if the demand is fluctuating in nature. On the other hand, industry with a stable demand can achieve better growth. Last one, government policy. The policy announced by the government will also affect the industry as a whole. Reliefs, rebates and concessions declared by the government to certain class of industries also influence the functioning of organizations. After industry analysis, an investor has to proceed with the analysis of particular company that he is wishing to invest. The main points of analysis at this stage are: first one, business model. The business model is the basis upon which all other things are built. If model is not good, there is little hope for the success of the business. Business model reveals what exactly does the company do. Investors can get a good overview of the company's business model by checking out their websites. Next one, market share. If the market share is high, the company would be able to meet the competition successfully. While analyzing the market share, the size of the company should also be considered, and it is also wise to make a comparison with similar companies. For example, an IT company can be compared with another IT company. Next one, customers. Some companies serves only a few customers while others serves millions. It is not desirable if a company relies on a small number of customers for large production. Definitely this will lead to loss. Next one, growth of sales. An investor must also see the growth of sales before taking an investment decision. A leading company of today may turn out to be a bad company in future unless there is a steady growth in sales. And competitive advantage. A company's long-term success is driven largely by its ability to maintain competitive advantage. Next one, management. A company requires top quality management to drive it towards financial success. Some investors believe that the management is the most important aspect for investing in a company. Investors looks at management to assess their capabilities, strengths and weaknesses. And finally, financial analysis. The final step of the fundamental analysis process would be to evaluate the financial statements of the company to determine the value. Many techniques such as financial ratios like current ratio, asset test ratio, gross profit ratio, etc. can be used for financial analysis. Fundamental analysis offers the following advantages. First one, long-term trends. Fundamental analysis is good for long-term investments based on long-term trends. The ability to identify and predict long-term economic, demographic, technological or consumer trends can benefit patient investors who pick the right industry groups or companies. Second one, identification of value. Good fundamental analysis will help to identify companies that represent a good value. Fundamental analysis can help investors to assess and know companies with valuable assets, a strong balance sheet, stable earnings, and staying power. Next one, understanding about business. One of the clearest advantage of fundamental analysis is the development of a thorough understanding of the business. After research and analysis, an investor will be familiar with the key revenue and profit drivers behind the company. Last one, knowing the company. By understanding a company's business, investors can better position themselves to categorize stocks within their relevant industry groups. Knowing a company business and being able to place it in a group can make a huge difference in valuing stocks. Fundamental analysis also has certain weaknesses. They are: first one, defective practice. Critics of the fundamental analysis often says that this is a defective or irrelevant practice. They argue that it is impossible to learn about a company by analyzing its fundamentals. Second one, unscientific process. The other major argument against fundamental analysis is it is an unscientific process, that it is difficult to get a clear picture of a company's value when there are so many qualitative factors such as company's management and its competitive environment. Next one, time consuming. Fundamental analysis is time consuming. Time consuming models often produce valuations that are contradictory to the current price prevailing in the market. When it happens, the analyst basically claims that the whole market has got it wrong. Next one, industry or company specific. Valuation techniques vary depending on the industry group or specifics of each company. So, a different technique and model is required for different industries and different companies. This is also quite time consuming. Next one, subjectivity. Fair value is based on assumptions. Any changes in these assumptions can greatly alter the ultimate valuation. Fundamental analysts are generally aware of this and use sensitivity analysis to present a base case valuation. And finally, analyst bias. Biased forecast of analyst leads the investors to false informations and predictions. These are the limitations of fundamental analysis. To conclude, fundamental analysis is the process of understanding the basic or fundamental financial levels of a business. Hope you got an overview about fundamental analysis, and thank you for watching this video.